you know what? It's easy to stay focused when everything's on track. But how do you stay focused? How do you get that focus when we're in a global pandemic, when you don't know what to do, when you are demotivated? How do we get that momentum back? Welcome to Wealth, Words and Wisdom. My name is Hayden Wilson. The topic that I want to speak to you today about is how to stay focused. I was on a client call yesterday with one of my clients down in Victoria, and it was really interesting because he's feeling demotivated, he's feeling like it's Groundhog Day, and we really had this great conversation about how to get back on track and how to really get that focus back. And I wanted to share 4 tips with you, or 4 stages to help you get back that focus, to get you back on track so you can start to achieve your goals again. Now, I'm gonna do these steps in a little bit of a different order. So the first step is actually know yourself. And that sounds a little bit fluffy for the moment, but stick with me here for a second. The second step is choose a goal. Now, most people choose a goal before they know themselves. And why does that happen? Well, they look at other people and they go, okay, well, if I want to get my focus back, I should just be like that. I should just go to the gym. I should work on my business. I should spend more time with my family. Anytime that we hear the word should is an awesome hint that we're trying to live in someone else's values. And this comes back to knowing yourself. So when you know what your own values are, when you know what lights you up, when you know what provides you that inner inspiration to actually go out there and do, you don't set goals that are in someone else's realm. And so, for example, if I went to the gym this morning, right? It wasn't particularly hard for me. Yeah, my bed was warm at 5 a.m., but for the most part, it's not particularly hard because health and fitness is high enough on my values. I'm prepared to sacrifice certain amounts of sleep. So when you know what your own values are, you can choose a goal that's aligned with that, which means you're much more likely to stick to it. You're much more likely to be able to adhere to the ups and downs that come along with that, and you'll be much more resilient to the challenges that present themselves inevitably, just as life will do. So once we know ourselves and know what our values are, then we can move to choosing a goal, which is step 2. So once we think about, okay, what's a manageable goal that we can have? And so when I was talking to my client yesterday, he loves business autobiographies and to see what the business magnates, Phil Knight, Shoe Dog, the founder of Nike. We're talking about Ride of a Lifetime, Bob Iger, who's heading up Disney at the moment. And we're talking about Steve Jobs, who's obviously passed away. But these are the kind of magnates that he enjoys reading about and seeing their struggles and understanding. And so I said, okay, that's awesome. That's a great broad topic for us to learn about. But now let's choose a goal. So we've got the general direction, and we know that's high in your values, but now let's choose a goal with that. So I said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna choose the 10 best business autobiography books, and I want you to read them and then summarize them and pull out the 6 principles, the 10 principles about culture, about understanding, about leadership, that all these giants have used. So finding the common theme. Now, why did I do that? Well, it takes it from this, okay, I'm just going to read for the sake of reading, to I'm now going to read with purpose. So now, every single time, every single word, every single paragraph of each page, you're thinking, okay, how am I going to build this in? And you've got a structure in your mind. When we have a purpose to what we're doing, we're much more likely to stick to it because we've got an end goal. Your mind, your brain loves to achieve. It loves to have endpoints, goals. And so many people walk around without goals right now. I know that sounds very nebulous and very fluffy, but think about it. The more focused we have on that goal, the more focused we are on that goal, the more we're able to achieve. Okay, so now that we know ourselves and we know what our goal is, step number 3 is to do the actual work. And this is when you're doing the reading, you're making the summaries, you're underlining, you're taking out the principles, you're doing whatever your goal is and actually doing it. I think a lot of people love to skip over this step. They love the planning phase because the planning phase, you get the dopamine rush, you get like, I'm in order, I'm getting my life together, but you've got to actually go to the gym. You've got to actually read the books. You've got to actually do the actual work of the thing. And that's what step 3 is all about. So getting your hands dirty and actually doing the thing, having the patience, sticking to it. And this is why step 1 is so important, because if it's not high in your values and it's not something you inherently just want to do, want to get up early in the morning and do, and that lights you up and gives you energy, then you're not going to stick to it when the times inevitably become hard. So step number 1 was knowing yourself. Step number 2 was choosing a goal that aligns with your values. Step number 3 is doing the actual thing. And now step number 4 is all about reflecting and adjusting. And this is really hard because it takes a really honest look in the mirror and asking yourself, is what I'm currently doing working? And so I want to ask you right now, I may be that mirror for you. I want to ask you, is what you are doing working right now? And let's go a step further and ask, okay, if the answer is no, not exactly, I'm not where I want to be, which may be why you're watching this video, is what is it about what I'm currently doing that isn't working? How can I start thinking differently? What are the results that I'm achieving right now? And how can I tweak them 1 degree, 2 degrees, or in some instances, 180 degrees, and you have to just completely change direction. I think so many people are afraid of that because they're putting so much time and effort or money into one particular thing, they think, I couldn't possibly change now. I'm telling you, I'm the one, I can give you permission. There's no one else that's gonna give you permission other than this video right now. But if you want to change, if you're not pleased with the results that you're getting right now, here's the biggest secret that no one wants to tell you. No one cares. Because everyone is so focused on themselves. If you change, if you shift, that's completely cool. It's okay. Just do it and provide different levels of value inside of the world. And anyone who gets annoyed at that, they had conditions on the relationship that you had with them, that they wanted something from you, and now you can no longer provide that for them, and that's why they're angry. You know what? That's their business. If they're angry at you for that, that's cool, but leave that to them. That's their shit to deal with. You just jump back and do what's right for you. And so what you're gonna find is eventually you're gonna find your track into what it is that's the crossover between value that you provide in the world and value that you really enjoy delivering. And when we can find that crossover, that X marks the spot point, then we can continue on and you know that you've found it. But this can only happen when we reflect upon our actions. So if this video was valuable for you, I would love it if you could click that like button just down below, not only because it gives me a little bit of a dopamine release, but more importantly, it helps with the YouTube algorithms to help these videos find more people so we can share this message even wider. And also hit that subscribe button so you can be notified every single time that I release a brand new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you very shortly.